Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I do maintenance on one of my pumps. In this case, a flow pump that's in my reef tank here. Now you can use this method for a flow pump, a return pump that you might have in a sump, a closed loop pump, any kind of pump that you're going to have attached in your tank. Now why do we want to do maintenance on our pumps? Well, the main reason is that in time the pumps will build up calcium or mineral deposits on the impellers, and then that'll slow down the pump and reduce its performance. So what I'm going to do first is pull the pump out of the tank, then I'm going to disassemble the pump, then we're going to soak it, then we're going to clean it, then we'll reassemble the pump and put it back into the tank. Okay, here you see the pump that I'm going to be pulling out to do the maintenance on, and the first thing that we want to do, of course, is disconnect the power. Now I'll take the pump out, and because I'm using a magnet mount and it's kind of a tight fit here, I'm putting something on the other side so that when I pull off the pump from the inside of the tank, the magnet on the outside of the tank won't drop down onto the floor. And off camera here I've got a small bucket to put the pump in so it doesn't drip all over the floor. And then we'll pull our magnet mount out. Okay, now I'm going to disassemble the pump here and give you a little look at it. This is 1 month's buildup of coralline algae on this pump here. So the first thing I want to do is disassemble it, and at first I take a look and see if there's any snails anywhere, and if I find anything then I put those back into the tank. I've got a 5-gallon bucket that I have vinegar in. I've got it marked, and this is what I do all my soaking in. It gets kind of grungy. About every 2 years I'll change it out. I'll just disassemble the pump and put the pieces right into the bucket. Take the impeller out. This whole piece I'm going to throw in all in one and leave the cord hanging on the outside of the bucket. Now the impeller, I like to take my impellers apart. That way it gets it really nice and clean on the inside of the impeller. Just make sure that you recover all of the pieces after you soak it, and that you put it back together in the same fashion that it came apart, making sure that the little thrust washer is in the proper place and everything in its rightful place. Apart, pieces down in there. This I'm just going to put right back onto the shaft and put the whole thing in. Now I'm going to leave that sit for 24 hours minimum, and then we're going to wash all the parts. Okay, it's been 24 hours. Let's take our pump out of the vinegar and see what it looks like. Now you can see the vinegar, being an acid, really cuts through the coralline algae, and this is going to clean up really nice. Now I'm going to take it underneath the faucet and scrub it off with the toothbrush, put everything back together, and install it back into the tank. Alright, now that our pump has been scrubbed and rinsed with water, followed by a rinse of RO water, and dried, it's time to put everything back together again. First thing we're going to do is put the impeller back together. In the same order that you took it apart. Want to make sure that the impeller spins real freely. shroud back on, making sure we've got everything all lined up. Put our magnet back on here. Now it's time to put it back into the tank. So here we have our pump all cleaned up, reassembled, and installed again in my tank. You also notice that there's a little bit of a change to the pump. Stay tuned for a future video which will explain that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and by taking the time and doing a little bit of maintenance on your equipment, you'll be assured that you'll get a lot longer use out of them. So until next time, happy reefing.